But
what did it do?
But he
Nothing.
does do things to show, hey, I'm Jerry Jones. Come
He's
on.
a jackass.
I know
But
that.
again, what did it
so
get
does
him?
little Danny Snyder.
What did it get him? What did it get Danny Snyder this year? Both of those guys are running their franchises in a bad way. I said last year that the Cowboys should win 2 of the next 3 Super Bowls, and look what they did this year. Look at how mismanaged that franchise is. Well, they have a great offensive line. They have great skill position players, and the team was a mess this year.
Well, they were 9-7. They should have made the playoffs. They didn't.
Ezekiel Elliott, 6 games. I'm sure Jerry Jones is blaming the NFL and Roger Goodell for them not making the playoffs. He should be blaming his running back for not being a decent citizen.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So the problem is this. All right, the Jets. If I'm the Jets, I'm thinking about a couple of scenarios. One of which is drafting a quarterback. The Jets will have the number 6 pick. All right.
Hard to believe. Well, they played.
Well,
considering they
finished 5-11, which was, let's face it, it was still probably 3 wins more than anybody expected them to get.
We know that,
and because of that, Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon both wound up getting contract extensions a few days ago.
I'm not sure I would have done that, but
I think it was deserved.
But there's nothing else to do. You can't get rid of them because they've actually played well. And if you get rid of them, then you got to start over again.
Right. And you don't make changes just to make changes. You have to know that there's something better out there for you. So from that standpoint, but I'm branching off too much here.
It's okay.
But first of all, if I'm the Giants, like I said, I'm going quarterback with the number 2 pick. Now, that being said, there's no guarantee that 2 of the quarterbacks are coming out. So that's Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen.
Okay.
Now, Josh Rosen has already thrown a tantrum and says he doesn't want to play for the Cleveland Browns, which is stupid. I mean, you're talking about a guy who he says. Let's put it this way: he says he doesn't want to go to a losing organization. So what happens if Josh Rosen comes out and tells the Cleveland Browns, you know what? Absolutely not. Do not pick me. I will not play for you. All right. So now the Cleveland Browns pick Sam Darnold. A couple teams don't have quarterback issues. Now you're looking at either, the Browns would pick at number 4, but they wouldn't need a quarterback because they have Darnold. But let's say then the pick comes to the Jets at number 6. Josh Rosen is available. Well, he doesn't want to play for a losing organization. There aren't many organizations that define losing like the Jets do. So now is Josh Rosen going to start crying, I don't want to play for the Jets either? The reason that these teams are in the situations that they're in is because they don't have quarterback. Josh Rosen should realize that. The Giants weren't very good.
Then again, if you remember, Eli didn't want to play for
the Chargers. That's why they got Phillip Rivers. Yeah. I think the Chargers did pretty well. They got an extra draft pick. Phillip Rivers isn't going anywhere. Phillip Rivers can still sling that ball. I watched Phillip Rivers yesterday. He threw for about 360 yards and was throwing. My brother would have loved this game yesterday because he was throwing bombs down the field.
I love bombs.
Well, he had a touchdown. One was 54, one was 62, and one was like 70-something.
That's beautiful.
Phillip Rivers was flinging. So,
but then again, Eli has won 2 Super Bowls, so
no complaints with Eli. So. Eli's been a damn good quarterback for the Giants, but as far as I'm concerned, his time is over. And if his time is not over, then the Giants are going to have to rebuild again in like 2 years.
Okay, let's say the Giants don't get that quarterback that they want, or the exact one they want.
Right?
Do you keep Eli around?
You can't keep that contract on the books if he's not starting. Eli makes more than $20 million a year. If that money is, I'm not even talking about him as a person right now. If that money isn't starting, then you're wasting a huge chunk of your salary.
No, you're not allowed to change the contract to make a thing where after he retire, he becomes a consultant, so to speak.
No,
you're not allowed to do that.
Not that I know.
Extend the contract, money wise.
They would have to release him, and then sign him. And if they release him, then Eli can sign with whoever he wants.
Right. Well, so I think
he's not going to give the Giants a hometown discount to do that.
No, I don't think so either. But I do think that Eli's going to go. His choice is going to be Tom Coughlin, or I think he would want to stay in New York. I really think the Jets could and would sign him.
I think from a standpoint of ease of life, the Jets would make some sense.
But it also depends if who the Jets get in the draft.
But I think the bottom line, Eli would be looking for a situation where he could win immediately, like Peyton, like his brother Peyton did in Denver. He's going to look for that kind of situation, and the Jets are not that situation right now. So that would be an issue. Maybe. Eli would want to go. I mean, Denver would be another possible landing place because the Broncos still have an above-average defense. They have a good running back. They have good receivers. In fact, some of the same receivers that Peyton threw to. So it's a solid team, even though they were terrible this season. But a big reason why they were terrible was because their quarterback spot was awful, no matter who they put in there.
Right.
And they had 3 guys rotating that spot all season. They're all bad. So I'm not sure yet where Peyton Manning is going to go. I think
Eli Manning.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eli Manning. But I think part of it will be determined by what happens with Kirk Cousins and how quickly his situation gets resolved. Because I genuinely think the Jets will be in. If the Jets can get Kirk Cousins, and I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is great, but he certainly is good, and he certainly would bring stability to the position. Because any team that signs him, Cousins is going to be your quarterback for at least the next 5 years. He's going to need a 5-year contract.
Yes, he will.
And that contract will be worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $120 million. Because that's what quarterbacks are being paid these days.
I agree with you.
So if you can do that in free agency, well, now you can address other needs in the draft. And you don't have to maybe make a reach on Baker Mayfield, for example.
Right.
Or you don't have to get, to me, the one thing I don't like, and it's a huge thing that I don't like about Josh Rosen, is he hasn't even played an NFL game yet, and he seems like an incredibly divisive personality. And you want your quarterback to be a leader. One thing Eli Manning has done a great job with the Giants, he's been a leader.
Yes, he has.
He's been a guy who's been nothing but class, nothing but a team-first guy. He's played every game except for that one where McAdoo benched him. So he's been the very definition of what you want a franchise quarterback to be. I don't know that Josh Rosen has that ability. In fact, I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
He should go hang out with Johnny Manziel.
He might wind up doing that. You don't know. He's obviously got a ton of talent.
Yeah.
But right now, assuming they both come out, I think I got to take Darnold over Rosen.
Yeah.
And then you got the kid from Wyoming who had a good bowl game, but people still don't necessarily trust him because of competition. You got to look at that factor, and then there's Mayfield and Lamar Jackson from Louisville too. Is kind of a dark horse there because his last 2 years in college, the kid won the Heisman Trophy, but this past season he put up great numbers, but Louisville wasn't very good. Their record was like 500. Right. So. Can he win games, or is he a college quarterback, or can he transition those skills to the NFL?
We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 FM WHPC, streaming at the iHeartRadio app. Tim, you're on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
The new Retro Mix, powered by Taylor Swift breakup songs.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Adele's sad love life.
What?
And Kanye West's weirdness.
What? No. Stop the promo. Stop it. Stop. What did you just say?
The new Retro Mix.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. What are you doing?
The Retro Mix promo.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Mix?
What do you... No!
Promo?
No, I mean...
The?
This is getting too silly.
Who was that?
I don't know!
All right, look, just give me the mic.
No.
Tyler, give me the mic, Tyler.
No.
Tyler, no! Give me the mic.
It's mine.
No, it's mine. Got it. Okay. Now let me show you what retro really is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Retro Mix is back with your favorite mix from the 50s to the 80s, and it's better than ever. I'm Colton Murray, your host, bringing this to you Monday from noon to 2. And the beat goes on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out.
Now, what if Friday the 13th landed on Halloween?
That'd be...
It's happened before, hasn't it? Like, at some point.
All right, we got to explain to Sam how days work, so
I was about to say,
stick around
at
to
some point
90.3.
in life, like, Has it happened in our lifetime? Yes. Right?
Well, we explained to Sam dates. Stick around at 90.3 WHPC.
The Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9. On the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
Let's celebrate the new year by being really thankful that we're not in Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Let's just take it easy. We all make mistakes on New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year from 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to 2018. If you're just waking up, if you might be hungover, there were times when Timothy and I might have been hungover on New Year's Day.
Too much work to do last night.
Maybe hanging out with our friend Rob Tuck and watching him being hungover, or Ken Elsner or Richie Burkert.
Oh, this is this thing that you wanted to do where you're dropping as many names as possible.
No,
right?
that's a whole other thing. I'm just saying, we
still think it's a bad idea.
I'm just saying that we, during our time, because we just after a while, last night I'm watching the crazy people in Times Square, and you know what? I think after a while you're so cold it doesn't matter. As long as if you were laid it up.
No, it does matter because limbs are freezing off.
Yeah, but if you were like
you're losing toes.
If you wore like 2 or 3 pairs of socks and you wore like a sweatshirt and 5 T-shirts and another sweatshirt and a nice heavy jacket and then a nice hat, good gloves, it wouldn't be so bad.
No, I completely disagree.
Well,
and the reason I can say that is because I was outside yesterday and I was in the Times Square area at 8 o'clock.
Right.
All right. It was 12 degrees.
I know.
And I can assure you that it was. I don't even far worse. I'm going to say far worse. It wasn't just worse. It was far worse yesterday than it was on Saturday because I was out there at the same place on Saturday as well. It was cold, but it wasn't freezing. Last night when I got there at 8 o'clock, freezing.
But there was no breeze yesterday. That was the
doesn't matter.
That was the good part. By the way, brother, I want to tell you about Standard Serenade. Join Glenda Milt every Saturday for 2 hours of Standards music. 5 p.m. every Saturday, playing great songs performed by great stars, from Bennett to Bublé to Sinatra to Streisand. You'll hear them each week on Standard Serenade every Saturday, 5 p.m. with Glenda Milt right here on WHPC. Just to let everyone know.
I will give that a listen this week after work.
Streaming on the iHeartRadio network. We were talking about the Jets and the Giants. They seemed kind of intertwirled this week. Todd Bowles and...
Is that a word?
Yeah, intertwined?
Twined, yeah.
Intertwined.
Intertwined.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said intertwirled.
Oh, that's a new word I just created.
Yeah, all right. That's 2018, first new word.
Well, I'm sort of like the Webster's Dictionary. You don't realize that. Intertwirled will be one of the new words.
Webster's a real dictionary.
I'm writing them right now. I'm going to say, please add intertwirled to your book. Okay. And they'll say, why, thank you, Mr. Leonard. You're smart.
Let's work on that.
They'll say, your brother is a writer, but you know how to create words.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we were talking about how the Jets signed Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon. The Giants signed a general manager. Now we have to wait for a coach.
It's going to be a long wait.
Yeah, it's not going to be Spags.
No. I mean, he'll be interviewed, but that's a courtesy interview.
Yeah, he's part of the reason why they were horrible this year.
Yes, and that's why he won't get the job.
Yeah, a seemingly nice guy, though. So, but it's interesting how the Jets played very well this year. Considering we were expecting, there was a couple of games they could have went 8-8, I think, very easily. And then of course John Gruden is always out there since he's not coaching right now. He'd be someone
probably going to the Raiders. That's the scuttlebutt, as they say. Check the website now. He might have gotten hired already. But Gruden is the reports coming out of Oakland are that John Gruden could wind up with not just a job as the coach of the Raiders, but could wind up with an ownership stake. That's huge.
Yeah, but how much do you make? 2%?
It doesn't matter what he gets. I mean, that's free money as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know, man.
He's going to make millions as a coach.
And then moving to Vegas in a couple of years. And so that's going to be a major money-making building.
Should be, yeah. Exactly.
So
that'll just enhance his ownership stake.